Today on the show, I've got 3 bold late model silly season predictions for you. Plus, we'll talk high limit in Washington, updates on injured sprint car drivers, and much more. Let's go. It's Wednesday, August 28th. I'm Justyn Fiedler. This is DIRTRACKR Daily presented by Kubota Genuine Parts. We are into the downslope of the 2024 dirt late model season here, and I can't believe it's already World 100 time next week. The Lucas playoffs start in almost exactly a month, and the World of Outlaws are running out of races to decide their championship. We've been hinting at a potentially wild, silly season to come, and some of the rumblings are starting to get a little louder and a little more public. Some moves are likely to surprise people, and I think some probably won't surprise people. Today on the show, before the stuff really pops off, which I think could start to happen literally any day, I've got 3 bold predictions for you of what I think will likely happen for 2025. So looking into my crystal ball, prediction number 1 is that at least 3 drivers in the current Dirt on Dirt top 25 will be driving for different teams next season. Could be more than that, but I don't believe it will be less. So call 3 maybe the floor here. Some top guys will definitely be on the move, and when that happens, it always creates that domino effect. This has already been a wild year with the Hudson O'Neal, Ricky Thornton Jr., Tim McCready stuff, but we are not done yet. Along those same lines, bold prediction number 2 is a driver I don't think that will be on the move, and that's Ricky Thornton Jr. That Kohler Motorsports team has been strong out of the gate, and even with all of the turmoil, I still think RTJ is the guy to beat for the Lucas Championship. Team owner Bobby Kohler has pulled out all of the stops for him. He hired Chris Madden, they've picked up some new Longhorn equipment, and the restrictions are off RTJ's schedule. When not running the late model, he's free to do whatever he wants. You're seeing that this week. This feels like the perfect situation for RTJ, and he may not find this type of support at most other teams that could potentially bring him in. So at least the 3 top 25 driver changes, but Thornton not included there. My third and final prediction today is that between Rocket and Longhorn, the 2 dominant chassis players right now, we'll have changes to at least one of those house car programs for 2025, if not both. Tim McCready has been really consistent. He did just win the Topless 100, but that's his only victory, and they're currently outside of the Lucas playoffs at the moment. Mark Richards has introduced a new version XR1 chassis, the XR 1.2, but I think the jury is out on if T-Mac is the guy going forward here. And on the Longhorn side, Brandon Shepard leads the Outlaw Championship with that Shepard Riggs racing team, but they are under serious threat through this final stretch of races from Bobby Pierce and potentially Nick Hoffman as well. Just 3 Outlaw wins on the season, none since July 5th, and not winning this Outlaw title I think would be a very big disappointment. They've been through some different crew guys, and at a point where Longhorn has really dominated the national conversation with Thornton and Pierce and Davenport, Shepard has been out of the spotlight, and what is the main car for that builder? I think one of the 2 house cars will change for sure, and potentially both. Drop me a comment, let me know what you think about my 3 bold predictions, and if you have any of your own. In Washington tonight, the Kubota High Limit Sprint cars begin a 4-race swing through the state. They'll be at Grays Harbor tonight for $12,000 to win, and then action starts Thursday for the Skagit Nationals. Saturday night of that one is $100,000 to win, so we'll have competing $100,000 to win shows this weekend. Brad Sweet leads Tyler Courtney by 126 points in the championship, with even bigger gaps down to Rico Abreu in 3rd, Brent Marks in 4th, and Corey Day in 5th. This Grays Skagit run up north was previously on the Outlaw schedule, and it's going to be the only time this year for these Pacific Northwest fans to see a sprint car national tour. The Outlaws head west to California after this weekend at Huset's, but they don't go further north than Stockton. No trip to Oregon or Washington. The previous 6 trips to Grays Harbor were won by Logan Schuchart, Carson Macedo, Darren Pittman, Donnie Schatz, Shane Stewart. No current high-limit full-timers have ever won at the track, so we will have a new winner. The closest high-limit connection we have is with Corey Day's car owner, Jason Myers. He won at Grays Harbor twice. He swept a 2-night weekend there in 2003 with the Outlaws. Rico, Sweet, and Day did all finish top 5 in the Outlaw show, though, in 2023. Those could obviously be guys to watch tonight. Other things I'll be watching tonight include whether or not Sweet can end this winless streak. Remember, he still hasn't won a sprint car race since May. Also, can James McFadden stay hot? Will Justin Sanders finally break through with a national tour? And can Tanner Holmes back up his podium from Monday night? Things start a bit earlier tonight. Hot lap scheduled for 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's certainly good for those of us on the East Coast. We want to stay up as late to watch the racing. You can watch it live over on Flow Racing. If you need a Flow subscription, go to DIRTRACKR.com/Flow Racing and sign up. There's also links below in the video description on YouTube. There's a ton of stuff coming up on Flow, including, this high limit weekend. You've got World 100 at Eldora next week, so make sure you don't miss out. Sprint car driver Chase Johnson's long battle ahead continues, but we did get a bit of good news yesterday as his family shared that the breathing tube was removed and that he has been able to communicate a bit. Doctors did discover that he also has a small C1 fracture, so the extent of the injuries continues to change. And if you aren't aware, Johnson was injured during the Gold Cup finale at Silver Dollar this past Saturday night after a crash where his 24 car came down hard on all four wheels. Unfortunately, he's not the only California driver dealing with this type of injury. Following a crash during heat race action on Monday night at Roseburg with high limit, Justyn Cox has also discovered a compression fracture in his back. He shared to social media yesterday that he's got a fracture to his T3 vertebrae. He didn't race the rest of the night on Monday, and his Bates Hamilton team returned home after the event instead of heading north like I believe they had originally planned to do. Definitely a tough week out west for sprint car drivers. Hopefully Cox heals up quick and we get more good news from Johnson. It was a really good show last night with the Short Track Super Series at Georgetown. If you did not tune into that one, Billy Pouch Jr. in control for a lot of that 35 lap main event. But there were just too many cautions at the end. Matt Shepard kept getting chances to try and make the high side work, and on the final run to the checkered, he did just that. He led by a small margin at the white, almost screwed it up in 1 and 2 by sliding high, but was able to keep the momentum down the back, and he beat BPJ back to the line in a drag race out of 4. Shepard the winner, Pouch second, Alex Yankowski in third. As I wrote my show today, there have been no updates to the Short Track Super Series website, but I would expect Anthony Perego to likely have lost the points lead in that South region. He DNF'd last night down in 23rd, while Matt Williamson was 5th. Things should tighten up quite a bit as Yankowski and Shepard will also have gained ground. The season continues Sunday when the North region hits up Utica Rome for the New Yorker. That one is $10,000 to win. If you're keeping up with the Big Money Stock Car Show at 300 Raceway this week with XR, their first prelim night of racing is tonight. Ricky Thornton Jr. had a mechanical issue in qualifying last night. Didn't really get in a good lap. He'll start deep in his heat race when things get going. My race pass showed 194 cars signed in yesterday, so no lack of race cars on the property there. If you want to watch, action continues all week on XR+. Don't forget as well, a lot of these teams you're seeing this week will then go to Boone next week. The IMCA Super Nationals coming up at Boone Speedway. Racing starts next Monday and then runs through the following Saturday night. In Dirt Racing Podcast Land this week, Wing Nation has Emerson Axum, Passing Points has Hunter Schoenberg, QuickTime has Jack Dover, Hoagie's Garage has Natalie Sather Silva and PJ Peterson, Getting Up to Speed has Troy Morris, Caution Free has Rick Rarer, and there are new episodes of The Dirt Reporters, Dirt Track Confessions, The Dirt Nerds, Dirt Tracks and Rib Racks, Turn 2 Terribles, Racing Roundup, Plum Wild, and The Drivers Project. To see the full rundown of shows and their newest episodes, check out DIRTRACKR.com/podcasts. That's all for the daily today. I don't know where you are watching or listening currently, but don't forget there are lots of places to be able to get the daily show Sunday through Thursday. You can watch it on YouTube and Facebook. Full episodes are posted both places. You can also listen to the podcast version anywhere you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever. And if you'd rather read the daily, you can do that as well at DIRTRACKR.com/daily. Full transcripts are available there. That's also good for those of you that are hard of hearing. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday out there. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.